Good day, this is Jensen Levin reporting live from Sealats, from off the Uriah Butler Highway, the Beetham Highway, where residents of Sealats have blocked off the western lanes of the highway as well as the eastern lanes in protest of one of 3 men killed by police over the weekend. Now, residents of the Beetham Gardens would have thrown garbage in the roadway earlier on today. That was quickly removed. Whilst officers were dealing with that, residents of Sealats, in support of their friends at Beetham Gardens, threw rubbish in the roadway, mostly discarded tires, and set them afire. Police officers are at every junction where there is fire at this moment. The eastbound lanes, as you can see in the background there, is currently blocked off. Again, residents are protesting the shooting deaths of 3 men early Saturday morning, 2 of them being under the age of 18. There's old tires, boulders. I'm seeing an old, from this angle, looks like a washing machine. Parts of a washing machine. I would try to speak with any one of the residents. Where we have one vehicle escaping the barricade. Our residents are willing to come and speak with us. We have police officers removing the debris, and as quickly as that is done, more is being thrown in the way by residents. Here we have PTSC workers just looking on. Again, residents are protesting the deaths of 3 men by police officers. It's sort of a cat and mouse game with police officers and residents at this time. As soon as they clear one area, as we were seeing earlier on, a police officer was removing discarded tire. Residents are blocking further down. While tension seems to be as high as it can be, it is still respectful, as I would have witnessed in the past, residents using obscene language and being very close to physically assaulting police officers. I'm not seeing that in this protest this morning. Just angry residents throwing any and everything that they could find their hands on and throwing it into the roadway. Police officers are just standing, looking on, obviously understanding that there is not much that they can do at this time. While residents are upset, for the most part they have not been unruly. Now, that unruly is within context. Context being, I have seen protests where throwing of bottles and blocking the roadway is par for the course. I've also seen where again, the cat and mouse game continues. As soon as the roadway is cleared, police officers. Now, I just saw bottles being thrown at police officers. That was not a gunshot. Glass bottles are being thrown at police officers at this time. Police officers are aiming their firearms at the residents who are throwing. Media? Yeah. I safe, don't worry, I safe. News day. I left it in the car up the road.
Right, but put down that for now. For your safety.
Well, I will step back.
Thank you. Go back now. More yet.
Right? So police officers are just advising that I stay as far as I can for my own safety. It's myself and a photographer from the Guardian Media here at Sealots. Now if you can see, these things in the air are glass bottles being thrown from inside Sealots onto the highway. Eastbound lane. Police officers responding. Glass bottles seems to be getting closer and closer to police officers. I just saw a couple of the glass bottles hit electrical wires, and the wires would have sparked. I'm hearing residents telling police officers, begging police officers for a chance, saying leave them, allow them to protest, allow them to express their pain. Now, if you're planning to enter or exit Port of Spain at this time, please note that both the east and westbound lanes of the Beetham Highway is blocked off from Sealots all the way to the lighthouse. There's a walkover by Sealots where the Central Market is. For those of you who are more familiar with landmarks, from there to the lighthouse is currently blocked off by residents, both east and westbound lanes. Residents are protesting the shooting death at the hands of police of 3 young men. One of them being from Beetham Gardens, the other 2 from Laventil and Mova. Now this police shooting happened mere days after the anniversary of the triple killing, the second anniversary that is, the triple killing of 3 men in Movan. Days after, a pregnant woman, Onella Graves, was killed. Residents maintain that she was killed by a police bullet. Police maintain it was residents who fired, killing a pregnant woman. I'm trying as best as I can from the position that I am at. To hear what residents are telling officers. Given that police officers are the target of the anger of these residents, whilst trying to maintain safety by being as close to them as possible, I still need to maintain some sort of distance. Again, reason for my running is more glass bottles being thrown at residents, at police officers by residents. So far no arrests have been made. At least I haven't seen anyone arrested. And I think to make an arrest now would just further intensify the situation. So police officers are just standing by, doing as best as they can to maintain some sort of peace. again. Gentlemen currently on the eastbound lanes of the highway. I'm seeing a baby stroller spared the fire. I'm sure you would have heard that in the background. I won't repeat what she said. But there is debris on fire, boulders on all 6 lanes, old tires, washing machine. I'm seeing an old barrel, old cups, what appears to be a stump from a fig tree, pieces of wood, glass bottles being thrown, PVC, plastic bottles. Residents are asking TSC workers who are looking on for an old bus to assist them in their statement. That is, they want justice. Some were arguing that justice would only be served if police officers themselves are killed. I don't think in any society that would be the answer. But in protests like these, that is usually the response. An eye for an eye. If you look on the ground here, more glass bottles, broken glass bottle from when police officers were attacked. Seeing some young men with their hands in the air as a police bus pulls up with officers, I am assuming, from the Guard and Emergency Branch. One resident is telling police officers who came out of the bus there that they plan to keep this protest for the entire day. He and another man had their hands in the air saying they had no weapons. In the distance, the fire tender that responded hasn't moved from when it parked a few minutes ago. JV officers with their tear gas canister ready to settle the situation. A few weeks ago, a senior officer assigned to the JB at a media press conference was referencing JB as the pit bull of the police service. And whilst denying he was making the comparison, they'd say that when you have a yard with dogs in it, and those dogs are predominantly Chihuahuas, then criminal element would not hesitate to enter your property. However, with 2 pit bulls, they may reconsider. So, with that analogy, I'm assuming now we are seeing the pit bulls stepping up. Hopefully it won't anger the residents further, causing the pit bulls to have to bite. But as we saw earlier on, the Chihuahuas weren't respected. They were threatened, missiles thrown at them. They maintained their composure, lifting their firearms in the direction of those who were pelting bottles and stone